The Peacemaker Bus of 1950 emerged during one of the most transformative periods in transportation history. The Second World War had just ended, and nations across North America and Europe were rebuilding their infrastructure while embracing a new era of optimism and mobility. Cities were expanding rapidly, highways were improving, and bus travel was becoming a vital link between communities that lacked rail service. During this time, transportation designers sought vehicles that could move large numbers of people efficiently while offering greater comfort and reliability than pre-war machines. The Peacemaker Bus was conceived as part of this modernization effort, an ambitious attempt to combine durability, passenger comfort, and technological progress into a single vehicle capable of serving both urban and long-distance routes. What made the Peacemaker Bus unique was its emphasis on balance between practicality and forward-looking design. Many buses of the late 1940s were essentially boxy utility vehicles, built purely for function. The Peacemaker, however, was envisioned as something more refined. Designers sought to create a vehicle that symbolized the calm stability of the post-war era, reflecting the optimism of a society eager to move forward. Its name itself suggested harmony and progress. Rather than focusing only on capacity, the bus was designed to improve the passenger experience through smoother rides, improved visibility, and more thoughtful interior layouts. In essence, the Peacemaker represented a philosophy that transportation should not merely move people, but should do so comfortably, safely, and with dignity. At the core of the Peacemaker Bus was a heavy-duty ladder-frame chassis, engineered to withstand years of intensive operation on rough roads and long routes. Bus manufacturers in the early 1950s were transitioning from purely truck-derived frames toward more specialized platforms designed specifically for passenger transport. The Peacemaker adopted a reinforced steel structure that improved rigidity while allowing a larger body to be mounted safely. Engineers focused heavily on durability, knowing that bus fleets often operated vehicles for decades. This structural strength also allowed the bus to carry heavier passenger loads without compromising stability. In many ways, the Peacemaker represented a bridge between earlier, rugged bus designs and the more integrated monocoque construction methods that would appear later in the decade. Mechanically, the Peacemaker Bus followed the traditional front-engine layout common to many buses of the era. The engine was mounted ahead of the driver, driving the rear axle through a heavy-duty transmission system. While this configuration might seem conventional today, engineers worked to refine it in several ways. Improved suspension geometry and reinforced leaf springs helped smooth out the ride, particularly on uneven rural roads where many buses operated. Weight distribution was carefully considered to prevent excessive body roll and improve passenger comfort. Ventilation systems were also improved, allowing fresh air to circulate throughout the cabin, an important innovation during a time when air conditioning was still rare in public transportation vehicles. The Peacemaker Bus typically relied on a robust inline gasoline engine, similar to those used in heavy trucks of the period. These engines were not designed for speed, but rather for reliability and torque, allowing the bus to carry dozens of passengers over long distances without mechanical strain. Power output was modest by modern standards, but the engine's durability made it well suited to demanding transportation routes. Fleet operators valued machines that could operate day after day with minimal maintenance. Over time, some Peacemaker buses reportedly received upgrades, including improved carburation systems or even diesel conversions, as fuel efficiency became a priority in later decades. These mechanical updates allowed certain vehicles to remain in service well beyond their expected lifespan. Visually, the Peacemaker Bus embodied the transitional styling of early post-war transportation. Its body featured rounded corners and large windows, a departure from the box-like buses of the 1930s and early 1940s. These larger windows allowed passengers to enjoy better views while reducing the feeling of confinement during long journeys. The body was typically constructed from steel panels mounted over a reinforced frame, ensuring strength and durability. Inside, the bus emphasized practicality but also introduced small comforts. Upholstered seating, improved aisle space, and better interior lighting created a more welcoming environment. While not luxurious by modern standards, the Peacemaker's interior represented a significant improvement over earlier public transportation vehicles. In real-world service, the Peacemaker bus was used primarily for regional passenger transport. It often operated on routes connecting small towns with larger urban centers, where rail lines were limited or non-existent. Transportation companies valued the vehicle's rugged construction and relatively simple mechanical systems. Drivers appreciated its predictable handling and straightforward maintenance requirements. Because of its sturdy design, the Peacemaker proved especially effective on mixed terrain routes, including rural highways and developing road networks. It served communities during a time when reliable bus travel was essential for commerce, commuting, and social connection. For many passengers, a journey on a Peacemaker bus represented a gateway to opportunity, whether traveling for work, education, or family visits. As newer bus designs emerged in the late 1950s and 1960s, featuring rear-engine layouts and more aerodynamic bodies, the Peacemaker gradually faded from active service. Many units were retired, sold to smaller operators, or repurposed for specialized uses such as school transport or rural shuttle services. Unfortunately, like many working vehicles, few Peacemaker buses were preserved intentionally. Their value during their operational years was measured in reliability rather than rarity. However, the surviving examples that occasionally appear in private collections or historical records offer a glimpse into a fascinating chapter of transportation history. These vehicles remind historians of a period when buses were essential lifelines connecting growing communities. The Peacemaker bus may not be as widely known as some iconic mid-century vehicles, but its importance lies in what it represented: the evolution of public transportation in the post-war world. It stood at a crossroads between the rugged, utilitarian buses of the pre-war era and the more advanced, passenger-focused designs that would dominate later decades. In many ways, it helped set expectations for comfort, reliability, and accessibility in bus travel. Vehicles like the Peacemaker quietly shaped everyday life for millions of people, enabling economic growth and social mobility. Though largely forgotten today, its story reflects the broader history of how transportation helped rebuild societies after the turmoil of war. If you enjoy discovering rare and remarkable vehicles from the past, machines that helped shape the roads we travel today, be sure to subscribe to the channel and follow along. There are countless forgotten vehicles still waiting to have their stories told, and the next one might be even more fascinating than the last.